Welcome to another episode of Run with Julia, and in today's video I am going to take you on another long run, because if we want to get good at running we have to go running a lot. I take you around London using my GoPro, and I put my GoPro on my chest. Obviously everything's a work in progress, because you might feel that you're in a computer game because you've got all the scenery stretching out front and my hands. But next video I'll run with my hands by my side or move the GoPro up. The essence of running to improve our performances is to go running a lot. It's very, very simple. You just have to go running a lot. But it can be as complex as any human being, with all of the puzzles that we need to work out can reveal themselves in the running step. We've just come up Exhibition Road and we're a mile into the run, and just to continue with running as a practice, to be consistent, it is just doing it. Nike knew what they're talking about with the strap line. Just get out that door, just do it. There's the Royal Albert Hall. Such an incredible building. It's wonderful inside. Every year, I say every year, the last 2 years, Nadia and I have gone to the Christmas carols in there, which has been a fabulous experience. So here we are in Kensington Gardens. All the cyclists, runners, 7:30 on Wednesday morning. That's another wonderful thing, is you get out that door and here's everyone else all doing their thing. One thing about living in London is that if you have any motivation problems, don't feel like it, get into one of the Royal Parks, or any park, or out on the streets, actually anywhere, you'll always see other runners. So you always have that awareness, if they're doing it, you can do it. Kensington Palace. One of the ways to stay consistent is to have a plan and to essentially stick to it, unless of course there's an obvious reason not to, that you're not feeling very well, or you're hurt, or you obviously are too tired. But essentially creating a plan, having a goal, creating a plan is very, very useful. And then having a network of support. It depends, some people aren't so good at running alone, and if you know that about yourself, make sure you join running group, find a friend. There's all sorts of availability these days to find running friends. It's so tranquil. Another of the ways that I have found to stay consistent is to run slowly, and essentially I generally get overtaken by practically everybody when I'm out doing my easy miles. We can be 1 minute in the activity of London in action at 7:30, and then here with not a sound of traffic or anything. Another thing that I find very helpful about living in London is it is quite a young, I can't remember the name of the word, but a young thing. You know, there's a lot of young athletes around, lots and lots and lots, and it means that you don't get caught in a kind of conditioning of what is supposed to be happening at certain ages, because I think we're so conditioned and not even knowing how conditioned we are. And if people listen to their language, they're often making comments about age or about what's happening. Whereas running around London, I do see occasionally some runners who have been running for longer or have been longer on the planet, but mainly lots and lots of young people, and I feel like I'm one of them, and I feel the sky's the limit and that it's all ahead. This is Little Venice, and this canal goes all the way to the Docklands, which is where the Olympic Park is, and that way it stops being the Regent's Canal, but it goes, I think, all the way to Birmingham. Now the other side of the canal, I love going through tunnels. Always the promise of the light at the end of a tunnel. This is a place where people live on their boats, and this is their kind of garden, and we always walk through here because it feels like we are kind of going through people's gardens, but it feels more fitting to just walk. My new strap for my GoPro, it's so comfy, it's fun. Make sure I don't step back into the water. Good footage. Another of the things I was reflecting on to be consistent and to love your running is, of course, the internal narrative and what you say. Thoughts are energy, words are energy. They create our life. The feelings we have about those thoughts and words, that combination is what creates the energy that propels us forward in life or keeps us in spirals of unhelpful ways of being. So it's really, really important to be aware of what you're thinking about things and what you're saying about things and what you're feeling about things, and that can make all the difference in the world. Another thing about being a daily runner is it feels like being on holiday every single day. It's very different running along here in the weekdays, like today. The weekend, it's more party time. Lots and lots of people and bikes and dogs and children and everybody out. And now, hardly a soul. This is the Broad Walk, Regent's Park. We're going to cut across the grass. We've run 5.5 miles and I'm going to endeavour not to make it a Julia 10. And a Julia 10 has been known to be a 12. But there is on a weekday, a kind of need to get back to to do something else other than lounge around in a coffee shop. We're in New Bond Street, heading towards the Ritz. February 24th is Anadi, who's behind the camera, and my wedding anniversary, 10 years this year. But in 2020 we had tea at the Ritz to celebrate, and that was just before we were all locked out of restaurants for a long time. So it was a wonderful experience, and what a fabulous run. And it's such a celebration, running through all these different energies and areas, arenas, and enjoying being part of a player on the stage of life. It is such a privilege and such fun. We are in Bobo and Wild, Clapham Common, another stage, another scene in life's amazing tapestry, and of course enjoying the wonderful part of running, the post-running coffee and cake. And so, to round up this week, it was a light week. I did 3 weeks averaging 100 kilometres a week, 60 miles. This week I backed off to allow the improvement, because it's in the recovery time that the body can adjust and acclimatise and accommodate all the training before. So this week, so far, I have run 42 miles, and that is 68 kilometres, and I have just run easy. I've done a couple of light intervals, well, one longer interval session, 2-minute intervals at my kind of 5k pace, and then today I've just done 5 times 8 times a minute, again not too fast, about my 5k pace. And then tomorrow, which is Sunday, we're just going to do a 4 or 5 mile run, because I'm racing on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, which I'll post on Wednesday, the King's Head Canter in East Hoadley, the 25th anniversary. Stuart Mills is the organiser, and he's gathering back lots of past runners. I was second position. I ran the first one 25 years ago. I'd have to look up what I did then. 20 years ago I ran 18:53. Go through the country lanes. I seem to remember it's uphill. Goes from Chiddingly to East Hoadley. So I will see you there. And lots of people, lots of friends are going to be there. So, and someone I've met, another YouTuber, Andrew Green, who we connected because he's an Uckfield runner. So lots of people and lots of fun, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging. If you loved the video, please put the love thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And thank you for running with me, Run with Julia.